So I got the idea to make this video from a guy I saw on Facebook Marketplace that posted Elden Rings for $30. If I was on PlayStation, I would have swiped that immediately. I ended up asking him why he's selling it for 30 bucks. He said the game is just not what he expected and it's hard. And there's no tutorial or anything that comes along with it. They just throw you into this open world, and if you haven't played a Souls games before that, you're kind of a sitting duck. And I understand his point of view and how he might feel like playing Dark Souls 3 for the first time. That was the first Dark Souls game I've played. I just started playing at first and I quit and then came back to it like 2 years later and absolutely fell in love with the game. And it's probably one of my top 3 favorite series of games. I'm gonna read some of the 1-star reviews people wrote about this game and give my thoughts on it. The rating system on Metacritic is 1 through 10 or 0 through 10. I'm not sure, but this guy put a 10 and he said, "I like this game a lot. The performance on PS5 is not ideal yet, but exploring the open world is super cool." Now, I read this 10-star review so I could get into the other reviews. He said the performance on PS5 is not ideal yet. They have to optimize this game. It's a new game that came out, right? To perform good on different types of platforms. This guy said, "It's far from a masterpiece. Outdated graphics, poor optimization, simply not that great. I'd like to see reviews from journalists that aren't huge FromSoft fans. This is a disgrace. Too many people like a game that I don't like personally. Yeah, you guys aren't allowed to write good reviews. Like, how dare you write a good review? How dare people actually go out of their way to write a good review about a game that I personally don't like? That's fucking toxic. What is this guy on about? Like, this guy has a personal vendetta about this game. I don't know, man. It's far from a masterpiece. I don't know, man. This seems like the best game that's come out in the past 5 years. I swear to God. Games and movies are all trash. Like, if you look, everything just seems dull, you know? The past couple years of movies, games, like, there's nothing fun you just stick with. And I remember Dark Souls 3 being one of those captivating games that grabs your attention. For me, it's like certain types of games that grabs my attention, like Dark Souls 3, Dead by Daylight was one of them. Assassin's Creed was a great series that grabs your attention through most of their games. The Witcher is an awesome series to play through as well. For me, it's some of those games that I really appreciate and stuck with, and I think I'm gonna stick with this one along with other Souls fans and new fans of the series. Now, there's an overflow of positive reviews as there is only a few negative reviews comparatively, and it seems like most of them are just mad that they can't beat the first boss or so on, you know, something like that. Now, this guy said outdated graphics. Now, from what I could see, the graphics are just fine. They're actually way better than Dark Souls 3. Even when you're playing with some of the abilities in this game and some of the weapon arts and weapons abilities, it adds animation to the ground, like being smacked down with a hammer, with a big fucking hammer, and the ground just goes into bits, and that animation, that graphic fades after a couple or a few seconds after using that ability, and it happens for a lot of abilities in the game. Now, there's amazing little details that we haven't seen from Dark Souls 3 in this game, and the game does not need 4K graphics, 5K satellite, 15K FPS to perform amazing, to be a good game, you know? It has poor optimization, he also said. Now, any game is gonna have problems at the beginning, possibly. This game seems to have, there's not a huge issue like Cyberpunk has had, like No Man's Sky has had, like Fallout 64, whatever that game was, that was complete trash, and they're just scammed the Fallout fans. Like, this is one of those games that didn't have a scummy opening to it, and it's performing pretty well for a lot of people. Now, poor optimization. I see a lot of these comments that have been saying poor optimization and it's poor performance. I'm playing it on PC and I was rocking a GTX 970 in my computer from 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago now, I don't remember. And the game was smooth. The game was performing just as good, just on lower settings than it is now. Because I recently upgraded to a RTX 3070 Ti. I know, it's fucking wowza. I'm surprised I even got my hands on one. It's a Founders Edition. I got it by luck. But I raised the graphics and it looks amazing. I don't know what that guy's talking about. 2 generations ago graphics. Motherfucker, what are you on? And the smoothness of the game, the performance, the lag, the FPS lag, just the lag in general, I haven't had any issues with that. I know it goes deeper than graphics cards, but when you hop from a PC to a PS4 or Xbox, you're gonna have that quality drop, I think. PC Master Race. Hashtag PC Master Race. So this guy Jack, he says a couple things that I agree with and a couple things I don't. He says, am I the only sane person without mob mentality left? Man, I don't know what is warranting these high scores. I've never seen so many misleading review scores in my entire life. There's no story really, just esoteric lore peppered around. While the open world can be visually interesting from an aesthetic point of view at times, the open world can feel boring, empty, lots of space, and no real incentive to fight a lot of the monsters. Now, I agree with that point. It can feel like really boring playing these games at times and a lot of empty space. I completely agree with that. They could have narrowed it down a bit more, to be honest, because narrowing it down and not being such an open world, actually pointing you in the correct directions you should be going. And I think that would help a lot of new players or a lot of new people to the series, giving them more direction. But I also understand the broad open world. To add 80 something new bosses to the game, I think that's the most bosses any Soul series has had. Now I think some of those bosses are actually the tree spirits as well, just refurbished tree spirits that you reuse throughout different areas of the map. I think that counts as part of the 80 something bosses. It's basically the same boss, you can say. I'm not too sure about that though, so keep that in mind. So the Breath of the Wild comparison is laughable and Skyrim. LOL, I can't even. The game isn't bad, it's just 100% more of the same. Don't let these people fool you about the magic of discovering open world. That this is straight up Dark Souls 4. Same look, same feel, same outdated graphics, and same gameplay. You fight monsters in sometimes interesting fantasy settings with extremely difficult combat. But 10s? No. I don't understand why he says this is just Dark Souls 4. Same look, same feel, same outdated graphics, same gameplay. Is that not what the people want? Is a Dark Souls 4? This is what the people asked for. This is coming from a Dark Souls series. Now they diverted and made Sekiro, right? And a few other games, I think. But this is Dark Souls. This is Elden Rings is a descendant of Dark Souls. I don't understand what you're buying this game for if you're not interested in playing Dark Souls. It's FromSoft. It's Dark Souls. What does this guy? Well, I don't know what he's looking for. He's like, Elden Rings should not be Dark Souls. Elden Ring should be more like COD. It should be more like Fortnite. That would actually help the game tremendously. I'm just waiting to see a review that says, why the fuck is there a jump button? Why the fuck is there a crouch button? Okay, I think I'm gonna make this the last review I'm gonna read. Alright, I found a good one with a point I want to touch on. This guy titled his name, Elden Ring is like as in garbage. He said, don't buy. Melee Dex is completely freaking useless. I had to farm endlessly as a Dex melee character to beat the second boss. I farmed it till I was level 50 while he is like level 20. Meanwhile, mages are one-shotting bosses. I agree. These mage builds, bro, they're literally made to like troll. They're made to have fun, I guess. For a certain type of fun. Now there's a clip of Chance Soda Poppin'. He has a mage build and he literally built it to where he's doing upwards of 20k damage to a boss that's supposed to be difficult. He like hit it with an ability and then he just used the Kamehameha beam and he just did like It was like 19 point something K. I swear to God, there's a clip of it.
Pumping. I'm actually getting fucking mauled. How is that fun? It's so bad. Guys, the game's mechanics of the bosses, 85% of the mechanics are all from melee range, all of them, right? How can you say you played and finished Dark Souls if you never are in melee range of the boss and you're just casting them across the universe? And you don't even learn half of the boss's mechanics and what they do when you're close to them. You don't learn anything. You're just playing World of Warcraft. You're just playing World of Warcraft. What?
Oh, fuck. Sending it.
Ah!
Holy shit.
6,000 damage.
Is that it? No second phase?
I don't know, man. There's just something about like one-shotting a boss that's kind of dumb. It's also about the way you build your character. You can do the same with any type of build, but not nearly as much damage as magic builds put out. It's kind of ridiculous. Also, this guy did say if you play a melee character, you will die endlessly. And he had to farm till he was level 50 to defeat a level 20 boss. I'm assuming it was Godric. I think you're just bad at that point, and I don't know why you wrote that, to be honest. I mean, I agree with you about the mage aspect, but Jesus Christ, dude. This guy.